All right, welcome everybody. Welcome into the coaching hour call. If you can hear me, just let me know in the chat box. Awesome. Good morning. Perfect. All right, so good to see you all here. The number is getting in is increasing. All right, here we are. All right, so here we are live here and just setting my camera. All right. So, welcome everybody. Welcome into the coaching hour call. I'm really happy and I'm really excited and I'm looking forward to bring an awesome transformation to you today because I believe this is going to be a awesome, awesome blossom session. Right now, you're watching here live me on Zoom. If anybody is watching me on YouTube, welcome everybody because we are live on YouTube also today. All right, so this is the coaching hour session, and today we are going to cover something very, very important. This is the chapter number 13 from the book, The Art of Living, and this chapter is about transforming your thought into things. In other words, dance till it rains. That means be persistent in your endeavor, have an everlasting persistence. And we are going to learn how we can really keep going even when the things seem tough, even when the situations are not in our favor, and how we can really keep making things happen. So, before I want to ask you a question, have you ever asked yourself why you don't do what you really want to do, what you really love to do? Think about it and let me know in the chat box that what your answer is. Okay, what do you think, or why do you think that you don't act like the person that you want to become? Think about this question. Really think about it. Don't just pass on this question. Really think about it. And then let me know in the chat box that what you think about it. I'm looking at the chat box right there. It is right there on the another laptop, and I'm looking at it because I really want to know what you think about it. Why we don't act like the person that we want to become? Why, in other words, why we don't do what we know we should do? That is a question right there. Everybody know that if they just think more big, if they just really keep consistent, if they just really go out there and make things happen every single day, they could have an incredible results. But why people don't do it? Why? Somebody said, I have not done it before, being and act as a businesswoman. Awesome, then act now. Act now, Helena. Act now like the businesswoman you want to act. Somebody said it because of the lack of ability and confidence. Now, lack of ability and confidence are real culprits. They are, self confidence, if you have, it can help you a lot. If you don't have, you may trouble. But there is something about self confidence that somebody put very well across. I forget his name, but somebody said, he said, if you want to learn, you need to have sufficient amount of self-confidence. If you have too little, you are going to think that you cannot learn. If you have too much, you are going to believe that you don't need to learn. So to really learn in life and to really grow in life, you must have self-confidence, but a sufficient amount of self-confidence. Too little and too more is very dangerous. It has to be in a certain appropriate format. That is the only reason why Bob Proctor is still, he's still studying it, the book Think and Grow Rich, every single day. Why he do that? Because he is eager to learn. He's really eager to learn. So let's get into the book and let's really study Dance Till It Rains. Bob started the book and the chapter with the same question. He said, why don't you act like the person you want to become? Why don't you act like the star who you really are? You know why you don't? Because you are afraid of what other people will think. You are afraid of what your mama is going to think about it, what your daddy is going to think about it, what your neighbor is going to think about it. What if you fail? What if you don't make it? All those things are really keeping you stuck. And when I'm thinking about it, A quote from Bill Goldfine, not Phil Goldfine. It was a quote from Bill Gold that strikes my mind. He said, "If I want to be free, I gotta be me. Not the me you think I should be, not the me my family think I should be, not the me my wife or my kids think I should be. If I want to be free, I gotta be me." I mean, that's the real deal right there. If I want to be free, I gotta be me. And if you want to be free, you gotta be you. And you only know that who the real you is. Nobody can tell you who the real you is. It just you can tell yourself what the real you is. And guess what? You already know what the real you is. You already know. But you know what? We don't do it. Why? Why we don't do it? Why we keep on playing silly games? Why we keep ourselves stuck in the same position? The answers are going to be revealed in this today's chapter. And Bob said, when that started, when you were just a little kid, all these knowing and doing gap, why you're not behaving like that person, or why you're not behaving like that why do you are going after your desires, all started when you was a little kid. It all started at that time. He said, they said, what would neighbors think? Who cares? I find out what neighbors think, they don't. Quit concerning yourself with the neighbors. Act like the person you want to become. That's true. It doesn't matter whatever you do. It doesn't matter you do good or bad. It doesn't matter how big you become or how small you are. There is always going to be someone who is going to say something about you. Then why bothering about them? Why letting them to stop you from becoming what you want to become? Why really bothering? Why? What's the point out there? I mean, seriously, think about it. Really think about it. Thinking is one of the highest function that you and me are capable of doing. But you know what? We don't think. Dr. Ken McFarland said, he said, 2% of the people think. 3% of the people think they think. 95% of the people would rather die than think. In other words, in other words, it's just 2% of the people who really think. The rest of the 98%, they are just a plaything for the whole world. These 2% of people are the real thinkers who make something incredible in their life. Why? Because they understand that if they want to be free, they gotta be them. If I want to be free, I gotta be me. If you want to be free, you gotta be you. Not the you anybody else think you should be, but the you think you should be. Make a decision today. All it takes a decision to really decide upon the port of calling. Decide what you want to become and then move towards it. Move towards it. You know why most people are stuck? They are at this point right now, and they are looking at this point and they are thinking, oh my God, it's a way too much far from me. And in this process, they don't even take the first step. And when they don't take the first step, they never, ever take the other steps. And when they don't take these steps, they remain where they are. And I know there are many people who will relate up on this topic right now on this call. And I believe there are many people who are on YouTube right now, even they are going to really accept that idea. That's the reality. We are stuck because we are in our own prison. And Bob said, you are the offspring of a deathless soul. Such a big idea. I mean, think about it. You are the offspring of a deathless soul. That is what you want to burn into your mind. That's the power, all knowing, ever present. That means whatever you want, it's already there in the universe. If you want more money, it's right there. If you want more help, it's right there. If you want more people to help you, they're right there. They are right there. The skills you want to occupy to really become better, they are there. But the point is, are we really getting them? Are we really making the decisions to get them? Not at all. Then Bob said, that's why or that's what you are an expression of. It's so important that you get this straight. So important. Where do you really want to go? Where do you really want to go? Rolf Waldo Emerson said that there is no planet, sun, or stars could hold you if you but knew what you are. Steer that into your mind. No planet or stars can stop you when you know, when you really know who you are and what you are capable of doing. You know, Bob Proctor said that he said even the most alive aerodynamic scientists cannot tell you what you and me are capable of doing. Nobody can tell that. Why nobody can tell that? You know why? Because as far as potential is concerned, and this has been done research by many, many institutes, the human potential is infinite. It is. It is infinite. But we are stuck in our own thinking. We are stuck. He said, it's what we feed into our subconscious mind, which is also the emotional mind, that dictates the vibration that the body moves into. The body being the instrument of the mind, the vibration dictates what you attract into your life. If you operate with big idea, not small stuff, if you operate with big idea, you see yourself operating with a very successful business, and you see your things really flying. Do you know what you're going to do if you keep that picture in your mind? You are going to attract people who will make that happen. But you really got to picture that in mind, and you really got to take the first step that you can take. Many people keep the picture, but they don't take the step. Really take that step. I mean, really, literally force yourself into the beginning. What Bob said in this beginning, he said, it is what we feed into our subconscious mind. And I'm going to take a few minutes on this concept right now here and really explaining you about this, because this is very important. What Bob said, what we feed into our subconscious mind. So let's get back to the diagram of mind. Okay, this is our mind right there. We have a conscious mind, we have a subconscious mind, and we have a body. He said, whatever we feed to our subconscious mind, that dictates the vibration of the body, that dictate the action, and that dictate the results. Now, when you are studying this book, when you're reading it over and over again, when you are thinking about it over and over again, all that information is right there in the conscious mind. It is right there. And until or unless you really take this information from this point onwards and plant it in the subconscious mind, nothing is going to change in your life. I can tell you nothing. I know people who have been literally studying this information from 10 years, from 12 years, maybe from 5 years, maybe from 15 years. And when you look at their results, they're still the same. They're still the same. Why? They're not really impressing the idea right there. Why they're not impressing? They're working with very small ideas. And when you're working with small ideas, there is no inspiration. There is no inspiration at all. And when there is no inspiration, do you think there is going to be any motivation to act? Not at all. Not at all. When there is no inspiration, there is going to be no efficient action at all. And the inspiration comes from the vision, the big picture you are seeing yourself. You're seeing for yourself. I mean, what is your reason? Not just set a goal because somebody said that, set a big goal. Ask yourself, what is my reason to set that goal? One of the biggest mistakes that people make after studying this information, they really set a big goal without even thinking what their reason is. You have to set a big goal. There is no doubt about it. I mean, there is not even a single inch doubt about it. But you must have a big reason for your goal also. If your goal is very big and if your reason is very small, that's tuny one. No difference. There are going to be no difference. You know what? Because you will have a big idea. You may be having a big goal right there in your conscious mind. Let's say you have a big goal to earn $1 million. And now when you set up this goal, understand that there is a paradigm right there. It is right there. Now, when you set a big goal of earning $1 million, you know what's going to happen? this is going to start talking with you. The paradigm is going to tell you who the hell you are. 1 million. Is there anyone in your family who has done that? Is there anyone in your, area who has done that? Even if they have done that, you cannot do it. And you know what happened? We pretty soon start believing what the paradigm is telling us. Paradigm gives us all the false reason. It gives all the reason. And you know what? The reasons that paradigm gives, they seem such a logical reason. Now, paradigm might tell you that there is not enough money in your bank account. Paradigm might tell you that you don't have the people. Paradigm might tell you don't have the skills. Paradigm might tell you that from where you think the support will come. Are you thinking about global business? Come on, you're not even catering your country yet. How you can go global? It will give you all the reasons so that you quit that idea. It will give you every single reason so that you quit the idea. I mean, every single reason. Literally, it is going to give every single reason. And then pretty soon, you are going to quit the idea. So what we can do then? I mean, how we can then really overcome it? That's where you have to understand. This is what I'm going to draw right now, right here. Right now, right here. Bob said it is what we feed into our subconscious mind. So really understand that. First of all, you have to ask yourself, what I want. I mean, really play with that idea. What I want. Okay? And then ask yourself why I want it. Because the emotional involvement, it is going to come from the reasons you give at the subconscious mind. If you don't give yourself enough reasons, nothing is going to change. The results are going to remain the same. So you have to ask yourself what I want, why I want, and then move on with the action. That is the real deal. That is how you alter your results. That is how you alter your results. Now let's move forward and let's say what Bob is talking here in the next paragraph. He said, but if you let the business control you and you complain about this person, that person, and how bad things are, you are going to repel anybody who's got any speed on them at all, and you are going to attract more people. Every time when you think about why things are bad, every time when you think about why it is not happening, every time when you think about what is bad with your business, every time when you think about what is bad in the situation right now, what is bad in the world, what you're doing is you are actually feeding this idea over and over again right there. And with repetition, that idea is going right there. And imagine when that idea is going constantly, when that idea is going constantly in the subconscious mind, it is going to halt all the process. It is literally going to halt all the process. You will not be able to take action then. Literally, you will not be able to take action then. You will be stuck. You know why? One moment you think about, oh my God, life is brilliant. I'm going after there. I'm making things happen. And the next minute you said, oh, come on, the employee made the same mistake again. What the hell you are doing? Don't you know what you have to do? And you're looking at your bank account. You're saying, there's not enough money. You're looking at people around yourself and you say, they don't support me. They're not helping me. And when you keep feeding that idea, now some of you may say that, but this is what happened. All right, I know that's what happening. But if you keep dwelling upon it, you're going to attract the same more employees. That's what happened. You really have to give yourself the picture of what you want. Pretty soon, things will happen in a certain way. Either the old employees will become better or they will make room for the new ones, the better ones, who will work in a more better environment just for you. Just for you. But you have to commit to it. Literally commit to it. It won't happen by luck or chance. Whenever it will happen by certain laws that governs our being. It will happen by certain laws that govern our being. Now let's think about here. Bob said, so see what you want, hold the image that you already have it, change your vibration. That is the big deal here. Okay, let's look at it in a reverse format. All right. Everybody, I mean, everybody wants to change their results, right? If you want to change your results, either raise your hand or type yes in the chat box. I can see there are comments coming on from people. All right, awesome. I see answers coming. Yes, yes, yes. Keep them coming. Bring them on. All right, I can see a lot of hand raised. Perfect. Now understand that when you think about changing your results, the first thing that came to anyone's mind is that people say that, okay, if I have to change my results, I have to change my action. Is this the same thing that comes to your mind? This is what most people think, right? If that's what, raise your hands or say yes. All right, I can see that the yes, yes, yes coming. Perfect. Yes is coming. Yes is coming. Everybody say that, right? Everybody say that to change our results, we have to change our actions. All right. Now understand right here. Now, what is your action? Now, why we act upon something and why we don't act upon something? This is your body right there. You know, your action, whenever you take action, it depends upon your behavior, right? If you're feeling good, you will be taking great action. Do you agree with that? If you agree with that, type yes in the chat box. If you agree with that, that yes, our behavior dictates our action, type yes in the chat box. Or just simply raise your hands, right? There are more yeses coming. Now, have you ever asked yourself, I mean, have you ever asked yourself that who is controlling my behavior? I mean, who is controlling your behavior? You know, your behavior is controlled by the ideas that are programmed right there in your subconscious mind, and we call it a paradigm. Your behavior is controlled by your paradigm. And you know what? Your paradigm is built by the thoughts that you keep thinking in your conscious mind, that are the dominating thoughts. And the biggest mistake people make is they look to change their results, and the first thing they try to change is their action. And guess what happened? Temporary, they see changes, and then they're back to the same results again. And then they are keep wondering why the hell my results are not changing. You know, you are working on the temporary cause. Changing action is the temporary cause, because you cannot sustain that action for too long. You know why? Because you may have changed your behavior for a minute, but you have not altered the paradigm right there. This happens with people who start studying some motivational stuff. For a few days, they're motivated, they change their action, and they change their results. And then they came back into the old routine. So, what is the solution? The solution is right here in front of you if you really understand it. And the solution is this, you know, you have to start from the place where everything has been started in the very first place. And that is by changing what's happening right there. What's happening right there? First of all, change your thoughts. I mean, literally change them. Maybe sometimes you have to change your thoughts completely in certain situations. When you change your thoughts, understand that you have the ability to change them, because you have a higher faculty right there in your conscious mind. That is imagination. Then you can use your perception all the time and keep yourself focused. Focus on that thought, and don't let any negative idea or distraction to get into your mind. And then using the process of visualization, you can plant these thoughts right there in the subconscious mind. And when you do that, that is the time when the vibration will be changed. There will be a new action, and there will be a new results. And you know what's the funny part is? What's the interesting part is? Once you reach there, then this new thought become a new paradigm. And then you go again with the same process, changing what you want then. And this process keep on going for the rest of your life. But the results you achieve, the things you achieve, they are phenomenal. But to do all this process right there in the right order, you have to understand that you have to understand, and you have to develop an understanding about who you are. And to develop understanding, you need knowledge, not just any knowledge. I mean, not just any knowledge. It is the right knowledge, and the knowledge come from study. It does come from study. When you study some effective information, It's not like one day you're studying one book, next day you're studying another book, next day you're not studying another book, next day you're watching a new YouTube video, next week you're watching a new YouTube video, or next week you're starting a new course. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. You have to gain understanding. For that, you have to have knowledge, but the effective knowledge. And that also clubbed with a mentor. Resources are already there on YouTube. Why results not changes? Because we are stuck. Now, I can see some of you want me to repeat it, so I'll definitely repeat it because this is a big idea. I know some of you will have difficulties with it, so really understand it. Once again, what you have to do is you have to understand that you have to change the permanent cause. Okay, and the permanent cause is right there. It's the paradigm. How to do it? Understand that there is an energy flowing to and through you. The energy is flowing all the time. It is right there. You have a imagination in your mind. It is right there in the conscious mind. Ask yourself, what do I really want? And then really have solid reasons for it. If you have not solid reasons, I can tell you, you will quit after a few weeks or few months. Many people do that. Really have solid reason why you're doing what you're doing, why you get up in the morning every day, why you get out of your bed feeling excited. Have very clear reasons. And then ask yourself, what I want. Create the image. You can do that using your imagination. And then you have to plant that image right there. And you know what? When you will be planting there, this image, there will be a fight between the paradigm and there will be a fight between the image, because paradigm is right there. It is not moving. It don't want to leave you. But then you have to learn one thing, that I have to develop an understanding how to change it. How you develop understanding? You develop understanding by gaining knowledge. How you gain knowledge? You gain knowledge by study. Does it mean any study? Not at all. It should has to be a effective study. It should be an effective education that is combined together with professional coaching. Not just any coaching, but a top-notch coaching. And when you've done that, that is a time when you gain control over your conscious thoughts after a great certain process of time, and ultimately change in vibration, change in action, and change in result. And that's what everybody is seeking. I can explain you the same concept by maybe many different ways, but the point is really same. But this doesn't mean that you know it now. You may know it consciously, but you really have to go through it over and over and over again. I can't tell you how many times I go through this diagram. Whenever I have my coaching call, the first thing that I teach them is this diagram. Why? Because it's never enough to have this information enough. It is always, there is always more. There is always more. Right? Now let's get back and dig deep into Bob's words. Now, Bob said here, there is a cute story about tribe in Africa. They have a rain dance. A lot of tribes in Africa have rain dances, but this tribe is different. Every time they dance, it rains. They said every time they dance, it rains. Anthropologists have gone to study these people because it doesn't rain every time most tribes do a dance. So they want and studied this one tribe and to find out why it rains every time they dance. Do you know? Do you want to know what they find out? That's a question to you. Do you really want to know why? If you want to know why, type yes. All right, perfect. And the answer is they find out, the tribe dances until it rains. That means they never ever quit. Now, this may keep you thinking for months. This may keep you thinking for weeks and years. Why the hell they do it? They want it. Simple. You know, a little baby, he don't know why he wanted. He cannot even tell you why he wanted, but he has an urge within in his heart that he wanted, and he will go after it. Doesn't matter whatever happens, he will go after it until and unless he have it. And when you become adults, we become we become like a kid for the whole side world. We never do what we do when we was a kid. When we was a little kid, we always want it and we get it. Most of the time, there are few occasions when we don't get it. Why? Because we were persistent, literally persistent, hammering the door over and over again. Papa, I want it. Papa, I want it. No matter how many times, Papa say no. And when we become a little older, we forget about the persistent we had when we was a little kid. And then Bob said, it is not rocket science. It's simple stuff. And literally, this information from Bob is simple stuff. Now, let's get a glass, okay? Let's put water in the glass. Where the water came from? It came from nothing, from spirit, right? What is water made up of? Water is made up of energy. What is the glass made up of? Glass is made up of energy. The glass used to be sand. What we did was to change the vibration of the sand and turned it into a glass. So now we have got a sand full of water. Well, no, we call it glass. We have a glass full of water. It's not a sand full of water. It's a glass full of water. It's energy. It's energy full of water. We call it energy. Now we call it glass. Where does the water goes? For example, imagine you have a glass of water right there and you add heat to it. If you add heat to it, you know what's going to happen? This water is going to evaporate and it is going to go back into ether and gas, and it will go back from where it came. And then what happened when the rain falls? The same water, it is back here on the earth. You see how the energy is in the constant motion? It is every time in the constant motion. Now you might be thinking what it has to do with my life. I mean, what it has to do with my life. You know what it has to do with your life? Just like the way you cannot differentiate when the water is changing into, ether, and when the water is changing into gas, you will not realize when you change from one state to another. But just like the way there is no demarcation between all these forms, they are connected. You are already connected with every desire you have. But it's the matter of tuning into that frequency. It's the matter of really going there and becoming what you want to become. Seeing that. It's a big difference. It's a big difference between knowing and there's a big difference between doing. Okay, let's continue. So here's what we want to grasp. There is no line of demarcation where it stop becoming one and start becoming other. There is no line of demarcation where it stops becoming water and start becoming steam. It's all hooked together. That's what I just explained to you. If you make this simple enough, you cannot miss it. You see, they are all frequencies, just different levels. We call it steam because on a different frequency. Now stay here with Bob and me. He said, where does it come from? Well, we bring it back. It comes from ether to steam to the water. But get this, every line is hooked with the one above and the one below. You say, where you are going with this? Where do you want me to go? I know where we will go. Let's go out our thinking. Really think. I mean, really begin to think. We all are spirit. Understand that. Understand that everything in life, before it comes to a physical reality, it's a spiritual idea. Nothing is big or small. 100 is just easy to make as 100,000 is. 100,000 is just easy to make as 1 million is. Many people have difficulty grasping that idea, but that's it is. Nothing is big or small until we compare it with something. Everything is just is, just like the way spirit is just is. The spirit is equally present everywhere all the time. It does. It does. Right now you're sitting, there is spiritual energy around you. There is spiritual energy around me. We can tap into that spiritual energy and bring ideas that we want. And that is one of the first law of, universe, the law of manipulation of energy. And that is the law of transportation of energy, actually, where the energy is manipulated from one form to another, right? Let's continue with Bob's word. He said, now let's activate our intellectual faculties, the one I explained you with imagination. That's what Bob is talking about here. Do you know what your intellectual faculties are? We touched them before. One of the reasons that gives you ability to think. So let's activate our reasoning factor and let's tap into on a higher level where thought is omnipresent. I mean, thought is omnipresent. Where is spirit? Spirit is omnipresent. We tap into our spiritual essence and we pull together thoughts and we build an idea. And then when we act upon that idea, it creates the result. And then Bob talks about a hotel. He said, the hotel in which I am right now, this was an idea in someone's mind at what time? When you hold the image long enough, the idea will move into form. That is what Andrew Carnegie said. Listen very carefully to this line. He said, any idea, any idea that is held in the mind, that is emphasized, that is either feared or revered, will begin at once to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate form available. If you hold the idea, it will move into form. See, all we are doing is working with the law. We are working with energy. We are working with power. We are working with spirit. That's all we are doing. We have the ability to be, do, or whatever we want. Now, I don't care what your past is. Bob doesn't care what your past is. Even I don't care, because that has nothing to do with your future until or unless you allow it to be. It has nothing to do with your future. Did you have some traumatic experience? It doesn't matter. Let it go. Tune in at the subconscious level. Say, wow, I'm surrounded by power. It's flowing to and through me. Wow. It's all the matter of auto suggestion. And that's what Napoleon Hill wrote in his book, Think and Grow Rich. There is a chapter on auto suggestion. The words you speak to yourself, pretty soon your words become your thoughts, and then your thoughts become your habits, and then your habits shape your life. Gandhi said that. And it is so true. You have to focus and take care on the ideas that you're auto suggesting. I mean, every day we speak a lot of ideas to ourselves. Every day we say something to ourselves. How many of those things are really productive? Very few. If you start noticing your thoughts, well, you cannot notice your thought because in a millisecond you have many thoughts. But if you just start becoming conscious about the words you're using, you will realize that maybe most of the day you are not thinking about the right ideas. You may be thinking about, all right, things are okay. You may be thinking about no need to go big. You may be thinking about why me, why things are not happening. It happens. It happens with everybody because we are programmed to auto suggest ideas that we don't love. Then Bob said, this is a cool idea to think that I can. I can. I mean, I can. Really, I can. You can. Everybody can. But are they really committed to do it? Are you really committed for a lifelong study of this material? Are you really committed to it? That's what makes the difference. I think I'm rich. I got rich. I think I am happy. How do you become happy? Help others to be happy. This is the best way you can do. Help others to be happy. How do you become loved? Loved others. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. If you want more money, give money. You may not be able to give a million right now, but everybody can just give maybe 10% of what they have. That's the law of receiving. It states that the more you give, the more it comes back. You have to give it. I mean, really, you have to give it. You have to give it. Why I'm doing these sessions right there every single week. Why I'm giving this information. I know there's going to be come back huge amount of things coming back towards myself. But I'm not doing it just to attract them. I'm doing this because I know there is a certain law behind it. And the only way I can be happy in life by working with the harmony of the laws, not against them, by working within the harmony of the laws. It's a big, big idea. Now, Bob has a question for you. How I can attract the perfect idea to myself from spirit? Maybe you are thinking about the same. How I can attract the perfect idea to myself from spirit? Well, the perfect idea is the idea that you are in love with. That is the big deal about anything. He said, if you love someone, you have attracted the perfect person, haven't you? Does that make sense? But someone else say, you love that turkey. What's the matter with you? So it's matter of perception then. The perfect idea is the idea what you're emotionally involved in. You may love a business intellectually, but emotionally you may not love it at all. So you really have to ask yourself, am I really intellectually, emotionally, am I really connected with that idea? Do I really connected with that idea? That makes the bigger difference. Understand that if you want to succeed in your life, you must have that idea right there, and you must fall in love at the subconscious mind. You must plant right there, and that is a time when you will become like a force of action. You know why Bob is still doing the same stuff after 85 years? Why he still keep teaching? I mean, why? He has a big goal. He has a big idea. He don't work right now because he want more money. He work because he has a goal to build one school every week in Africa. And in fact, not just one school, he has a goal to renovate the whole village, 1 week in Africa. And you know what? It takes around 25K to build a whole village. I mean, really renovate it, build school, give them the right food, the nutritious food, medical, the water supply. It takes 25K. Unstoppable Foundation is the foundation with which Bob is associated. That is run by Cynthia Kersey. She's an absolute amazing lady. When she was in the very crisis moment of her life, she was going through a divorce. She wrote a book, Unstoppable. And at that time, she was devastated at what is happening in my life. And then someone advised her, if your pain is so much bigger, ask yourself what you're going to do make this pain negligible. She said, I want to build schools. And then the person asked her, how many schools you want to build? She said, I don't know. And then he replied, keep building them until you felt that all the pain from your divorce is gone away. And you know what? It's, I think now more than maybe, I don't know how many years, she is still building schools, and not just building schools, renovating the whole village in Africa. Such a big idea that those people are working with. You have to do that. Don't just play around with small games. Find out something that you love. Find out something that you're really passionate about. Age doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whatever your age is, you can still do whatever you want to do. If you decide, my dear friends, if you decide, decision is the beginning. Decision is not made, nothing is going to change. I mean, nothing is going to change. All right? Do you know what you love? Love is resonance. It's when the conscious, the subconscious, and the body all are in love with one idea. It is called integrity. Your thoughts, feeling, and actions are lined up. So you just have to ask yourself what I really love doing. I will write the question here for your reference because this is very important. And I really want you to think about it. What I really love doing. I mean, ask yourself this question maybe for a week, maybe for a month, until or unless you got the answer. You know, way back in 2015, the starting of 2015, I asked this question to myself. And at the end of the 2015, I was convinced that I want to teach this information. I really want to become best at teaching this. And for that, I know that first I have to change my life. That's what I did. Right now, I'm living a great life. I'm really happy with my work, with everything, because I have find out what I really love to do. And I really want you to think about this question over and over and over and over again as you go after this call into your work. And then have a little diary. Keep writing everything that you love to do. And then make a decision. Make a decision that this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to execute. Doesn't matter how silly it seems to the whole world. Only I care is about whether this idea is for me or not, whether I really love that idea or not. You know what? When you love your idea, you are going to attract many people from all over the world who will love your idea and who will support you. It doesn't matter if anybody in your family supports you or not. Pretty soon, when they see results, they will start supporting you. All right. So now let's bring on your questions. If anybody had a question, bring them on right now in the Q&A box. So I'm looking at this box here because this is the another Zoom open here, and I'm looking for your questions right there, guys. All right, so I think we have another question here from Vicky. Vicky said, how to find good reason for. You ask yourself, Vicky. Nobody can do it for you. There is no right way, there is no wrong way. Ask yourself why you want to do what you do. The best point for you is think about whether this idea will change your life or not. Are you really ready to trade your whole life for that idea or not? You know, when Edwin C. Barnes reaches the office of Thomas A. Edison, he has a very specific desire. He said, I am here to be in association with Edison. It doesn't matter how many years it will take for me, I will stay there until I become his associate. Play with that idea. Play with that idea over and over and over again. You will find out your reason. Giving your family a great life is your one of the best reason it could be. So start from your personal reason and then keep expanding towards. All right, Vicky. I hope you got your answer, Vicky. Perfect. Naveen, the name of the book is The Art of Living, Bob Proctor. I will send a link to everybody in the email today. You can go to Amazon and buy it. You will have the link today in the email, Naveen. Okay. Perfect. So what is the next question? Somebody said how to differentiate between love doing and attraction. Great question. Try it for a few days. If your love disappears after a few days or a few weeks, it wasn't love at all. Love is something that stays there. Love is something that excites you and really motivates you throughout your life. Doesn't matter how many challenges you're facing, and you are going to discover it. You're not going to get it out of a hat. You're going to discover it, Avinash. Really play with that idea and ask yourself what I would really love to do for the rest of my life. Make a decision. Everybody knows something in their heart, but the question is, are you really ready to make a commitment? Are you really ready to make a commitment and accept it and start moving towards it? That's what it takes, Avinash. Okay. There is no trick. You can try finding out different things. You can list out ideas and all. But at the end of the day, it boils down to the very simple concept: decision. It's a decision. You know what you want. Make a decision. Maybe you're ignoring that idea. Maybe you're rejecting that idea. Doesn't matter whatever the reason is. We all do that. For many years, I keep on rejecting one idea. But now I have made a decision. I'm not going to reject it anymore. I love it. Okay? Perfect. All right. So there's another question from Linda. Needs some extra help maintaining positive thoughts today. No problem, Linda. We are having a call in half an hour from now. So I'll really help you there in our coaching call. All right, Linda? Perfect. So what is the next question we have here, guys? You can type your question in the Q&A box, and make sure that you type your question in the Q&A box. Do not type them in the chat box. It sometimes become difficult to move between chat box and Q&A box. All right. If you have a question, bring it on, guys. And keep thinking about this. What do you really want? I mean, really, what do you really want? This is the idea. This is the idea. You have to think about it. There is no other way, no other thing you should ask yourself, but what do I really want? Okay? If you have a question now, just bring it on. If anybody has a question, bring them on. If you have no question, you can just type no question so that we don't waste time here. Okay? If you have no question, just type no question. If somebody has a question, type their question or let me know in the chat box that you're typing it, or I can know it, guys. All right, Avinash, I'm waiting for your question. All right, so Avinash has a question, so I'll wait for him. Thank you, everybody else, for participating. Somebody said, what other people will think about is the cause of rejecting what? It is. It is one of the biggest cause why most people reject Wiki. What somebody will think about it, what my neighbors will think about it, what my society will think about it. That's the biggest reason why people do not go after what they want. Okay. Yes, Avinash, that is the instruction what I give. Absolutely. Till you find an exact reason, keep thinking about it. Keep thinking about it. Because maybe in some people's case, it take weeks, it take months, it take years. Earl Nightingale said that. He said, because you are going to devote your whole life chasing that idea. So it's better you give it the right time also. Okay. All right. Linda said, can you talk about the difference between will and willpower, push energy? Simply, you don't push yourself. You use your willpower to hold the image on your mind. You use your willpower to really get rid of the negative ideas. You use your willpower to stay focused on what you want and don't let any negative ideas to keep in your mind. Use your willpower on your thought. Don't use your willpower on somebody else, on the outer situation. Use your willpower within. When you're using willpower on the outside, that is the wrong use of willpower. When you're using your will to control your thoughts and control and sustain your imagination, Linda, that is the right time and that is the right use of your imagination, of your will. Okay. I hope you get it, Linda. Somebody said how to observe our paradigm. Naveen, simply look at your habits. Ask yourself what result you want. Okay. I mean, ask yourself, what do I really want? And then ask yourself, what habits I have to change if I want to get it? And then get on, change those habits. Paradigms, they are habits. They are habits programmed into your subconscious mind, habits that are not helping you, habits that are not serving you. And start observing the habits you have to change in order to change your results. All right, Naveen? I hope you got the answer, Naveen. Awesome, Naveen. Perfect. All right. So I think Neeraj is typing a question. In the end, I will encourage you guys that if you really want to dig deep more into this philosophy of law and law of attraction, I highly encourage you that shoot me a message and sign up for my upcoming 2-day seminar. It is going to be a mind-boggling seminar. I'm getting deep into all the laws that governs our being, and it can change your life forever. It is going to be a complete 2-day seminar. It can bring a bigger change in your life if you allow it to happen. All right. You can always drop me a message and ask me for more details, and I'll let you know. Okay. All right. Perfect. How to make a mentor? Find somebody with whom you resonate with, Naveen. If you're coming back to these calls, you can always drop me a message. I can talk to you about your goals. I can talk to about what you want, and then I can tell you about the few programs that I have and how I can help you. Okay. but it's all about finding someone with whom you really resonate with. Not find a mentor just because you want it. Find a mentor with whom you really resonate, whom you really connect with whom you really can express yourself. Okay. Awesome. Perfect. So Avinash said, what are the charges for the seminar? All right, Avinash. So the charges for the seminar is, if you are in India, I'll tell you in INR. If you're out of India, I'll tell you in dollars. There are two tickets. For the journal ticket, you have to pay $77. That is 5,855 rupees. And if you are going for VIP, you have to pay $117. That is 8,888 rupees. But if you buy the journal ticket till 30th of this month, you will have all the benefits of VIP. Okay. So that's the seminar prices. Difference, I'll send you a file of Nash. You can check out all the differences there. In fact, I have already emailed it to everybody. So I will send it again so that you can go through all the differences right there. Okay. All right. Perfect. Neeraj, are you still typing your question? If you're typing, let me know. I'll wait for you. All right, so there is a question from Neeraj. Neeraj said that for starting the business, earning money, we need ideas also, help of other people. But when it comes to studying the subject like physics, chemistry, etc., to attain mastery, it requires one's own brain highly active to understand some difficult level concept, just like everyone goes through. That's where you're missing some of the greatest idea of masterminding. You need your brain and you need brain of other people. You can never understand one information when you are alone. When you study with people who are really interested in what you are studying, that is the time when you get ideas, Neeraj. So studying chemistry is no different than running a business. Studying chemistry is no different than learning piano. Or studying chemistry or physics or learning chemistry and physics is no different than learning a car or bike. It's all about getting into it and then keep improving, keep improving. Take away the limitation from yourself that you don't know. Take away the limitation from yourself, the concepts are difficult. Because when in the first place you think the concepts are difficult, you're feeding that to your subconscious mind. That's what it is picking, and that's what it's showing you back, that the concepts are difficult. Once you have the belief the concepts are easy, I learn them very freely, I learn them very easily, they will become that way, Neeraj. Thinking. It all starts with thinking. Really make no mistake about it, Neeraj. Okay? Maybe you find a mastermind group where there are 3-4 people who are really interested in studying chemistry. Study together, share your views about a concept. Let's see how you come up with a better idea to understand it. Masterminding has always been the reason why people become successful in their field. So you form your mastermind group, Neeraj. Okay? I hope that helps you, Neeraj. Perfect. All right, then, guys. I hope this is the last question. We are almost done with our time today. So thank you so much for being here on this call, guys. I really loved it. I really enjoy it. So tomorrow we will not be having the call. I have something extra planned tomorrow. So now I will see you. Maybe if I'll announce you if I'm doing a call on Saturday, but most probably I'll see you next week. Till then, take care. Live your life the way you want to live, and keep thinking. Keep thinking. All right. So bye bye, guys. I'll see you soon in the next call.